Hello and welcome to HT After Hours. This is the Midweek Check-in, where we spend a few moments reflecting on our lives and who God has called us to be. How has your thinking changed in recent weeks in terms of how we used to live our lives pre-lockdown? There are many negative aspects to the pandemic, but there's also an opportunity for new life to spring up. What about your life pre-lockdown? What you did, what it was filled with, how it was probably very different to what you do now. How have the changes that the last 3 months have forced on us affected your thinking? Do you think about your health differently? Were there things that you used to take for granted that now you're more grateful for? Are there simple pleasures that you now take time for that you didn't previously? Are there new hobbies or priorities in your life? If we take time to think, there will be things that we all do differently. Maybe it's a good time to do such an exercise because the new normal very quickly becomes the accepted normal again. It's important because unsettling times tend to make us look at life differently. They tend to make us reassess our priorities. But even where world pandemics are concerned, humanity has this amazing ability to adapt to new circumstances very quickly. The point is that if we're not careful, there's a window of opportunity that will close before we take full advantage. If you want everything to get back to normal, it's sort of understandable, but I also think you're going to be disappointed. First, I don't think it's ever going to be the same as it was before lockdown. Second, the timescale for any sort of normality to be resumed is going to be far longer than any of us thought. The window of opportunity is the chance to reassess your life, priorities, work, leisure, what we spend our time and money on, in short, why we do what we do. It's the big questions in life that, when the normal pace of life resumes, we won't have the energy or the willpower even to consider. These times can make us worry. So what I suggest that you make time for is a little possibility thinking. Our mental and spiritual condition will have been affected by the pandemic, and while it's not something that can be diagnosed or treated with medication, I think there are positive steps that we can all take. Possibility thinking is imagining what would happen if things were different. What would happen if? We adults have such invention and inspiration knocked out of us somehow, somewhere along the way. Children are much better at it. We live in a world that no one could have imagined 6 months ago. The unimaginable has happened. No one saw it coming, and because of this, the burden of responsibility lies heavy on us to reimagine our lives. How can we live differently? I want to say, otherwise, what was the point of the massive upheaval of this worldwide catastrophe? We thought about prophecy at the weekend and how speaking truth to power should carry a government health warning with it. John the Baptist and Jesus were both disposed of by the establishment for speaking such truth. The prophecy we'll hear in a moment that Jesus spoke was revelation, and it wasn't words like these that got him killed, but they do reveal the kingdom, and they do contain hidden power. Think about your priorities, about your passions, which we touched on in last week's check-in. Try to imagine your life from a bird's eye point of view. Focus on your breathing, on breathing deeper and slower. Then invite the Spirit of God to speak to you. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. God speaks to all of us all of the time. Our privilege, our joy and responsibility is to slow down, tune in and spend time listening. As we slow down, we notice all the psychological white noise in our heads clamoring for attention. Allow these thoughts to come and to go. Pay them no heed. Try to foster the habit of letting thoughts go. It's not ever something that we'll become good at. The idea with centering prayer is to cultivate the practice of holy intention. The beautiful mystery of Christ in me, the hope of glory, already is. Our responsibility is to spend time with God without doing anything. This prayer, to an activist Protestant Christian, feels like a waste of time. It's counterintuitive to our nature to do what appears to be nothing. There's plenty of instruction and history to this centering prayer practice that exists online and in books, and is something that we'll spend time on in future days. For now, be aware that the author of the universe is talking to you about new life that's springing up in you. Writing it down can make it more real. It earths our thoughts and makes it easier to be more intentional about God's voice in our experience. Thanks for your time. Make time for quiet time with God so that you can benefit this community. See you soon. Have a great week. God bless you.
again.